Thanks for listening. This is Bowling Beyond 200. Bowling's only certified organic, BPA-free, cage-free, gluten-free, 100% farm-to-table podcast. I am your host, John Baker. We are brought to you by the great folks over at Old Roy's Unique Bowling Ball Cleaners. They make two products, Early Shift, a great all-around cleaner, and Late Shift for when the lanes start to dry out. Check out their products at www.oldroys, that's OLEROYS.com. We here at Bowling Beyond 200 are always looking for individuals who are as passionate about the sport as we are, and those who make products for bowlers or for bowling in general. And we have one of those individuals with us today, the owner, creator of TournamentBowl.com, Jeff, and how do you pronounce your last name? Demarest?
Yeah, Demarest.
Demarest, okay. Welcome to the program, Jeff.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you an avid bowler?
Sure. Yeah, I grew up in a bowling family and bowled scratch travel league as a kid, and just really grew to love the sport. I compete locally as a scratch bowler, but I don't really go places and bowl too competitively. I enjoy bowling once or twice a week, that kind of a thing. So I would consider myself a scratch bowler, but not probably a significant, go to significant events or anything like that. Professionally, I am a high school vice principal, and I was a high school math teacher, and that's kind of where I cut my teeth as a programmer and got started that way.
And you created TournamentBowl.com?
That's right.
So for those of us who don't know, what is TournamentBowl.com?
So, right, TournamentBowl.com is basically tournament management software. It's a program. So you can compare it probably to CDE products or WinLabs or Ebonite. There's different products that help tournament directors manage a tournament, and people even use Excel. But what makes Tournament Bowl unique is that it's completely web-based. It's completely online, so you don't install anything on your computer. You use it just like you would use Amazon.com or eBay. You just log in and go, and all the work is done on the servers. And one of the major...
You programmed it yourself.
I did.
You did. It's you said tournament management software. Does that include brackets as well as the tournaments themselves?
It sure does, yeah. So basically, at most tournaments, you've got a couple of tables. You've got your tournament table or office or whatever where the director is, and then there's this other guy at this other table, and they got their team, and they run all the side action, all the brackets and things like that. And so the scores go to one place, and the tournament person puts them all into whatever software they're running, and then the scores go to someplace else, and then all the brackets get crunched, and then everybody prints stuff out and tapes it up all over the bowling center for people to go look at. So the Tournament Bowl, the score goes into Tournament Bowl, and all of the brackets update, all the side action, the tournament and everything, and people can just see it all on their phones.
All inclusive, all one site.
All in one spot, yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing that people have really gotten excited about is when they realize they don't have to have these separate teams of people running the tournament, that they could just have it all in one spot. Yeah, it's pretty cool once it gets going. And I'll tell you, the bowlers really enjoy it. There's something about being able to look and see your brackets on your phone, and you bowl your game, and then you look, and there's your game, and you can see exactly who you're bowling against in the next round and what lane they're on, go trash talk them.
And that's on, you can look at it on your smartphone, or
yep.
It can be displayed by the tournament director?
Yeah, it's online, so any place you can get to the internet, you can see the results. And so at the last tournament I did, it was a youth masters tournament in Seattle, and we had it on Tournament Bowl. So the parents were all watching, the kids were all watching on their phones, and the parents were telling the other parent, like Dad couldn't make it or whatever because he had to work, or grandparents across the country, and everybody's following along online to see how their kids are doing. So anything you can access the internet, you can see the results in real time.
In real time. Now, like Crazy Like Me, we started a podcast. Now, why did you create Tournament Bowl?
So the reason I did it in the first place is a little different than why I got excited about it and kept doing it, because I've had to really persist with it. So I'll tell you kind of cool. The original thought came from a state tournament that I bowled, and my family, we drove across the state, and it was probably an 8-hour drive altogether. Loaded up all the bowling balls and everything and went across and bowled, and we did really well. We thought we were a pretty good spot. But there was another weekend to go. So you know how that is. You hope your scores are going to stand, and you want to know. It's probably going to be online someplace. So I'll just look around and see if I can find it. Couldn't find it. And the association has a nice, website and everything like that, but there wasn't anything where scores were going in real time or anything. And I just became frustrated. The weekend came and went, and where are those scores? How come I can't tell, if our scores are standing up and how we're doing? And I just knew they were pinned up on a wall someplace. I probably had to drive all the way across 7 hours, look up on some wall where they were pinned, and everybody around there could see them. But they certainly weren't online. And so it made me think, well, geez, in this day and age, if those scores are known and they're on somebody's computer, should be able to see them. Now, some associations are posting on Facebook and stuff like that, and we just weren't there at that time. But that's where my first kind of thought came. And about that same time, my mom, who's a very competitive bowler, she's in the State Hall of Fame and has won national tournaments, she entered the State Queens tournament. She filled out her paper, and circled the squads in the order of preference and whatnot, and mailed it in, licked the stamp and mailed it in. It came back, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, a couple weeks before the event, and with a letter, very nice, professionally worded letter that, sorry, all those squads are filled. Those 2 squads are filled. So here's the only squads that are left, these 2 here. And so you got to pick one of those. Well, she couldn't make any of those. So, but because it's so late now, she's stuck because she's already she can't make all the other squads that maybe would have been open when she was applying. They were gone. So that made me think, well, shoot, if you want to go see a concert, what you do is you look and you see what inventory is available, and you click on it, and it's yours in real time. And if it's not available, they don't make it available. You don't even see it. That should be done. There should be a better way to sign up for squads. So I really started thinking about Tournament Bowl with those 2 things: real-time inventory for squad assignment and real-time access to scores. And I thought, well, it must be out there someplace. And I started looking, and it just wasn't. Nobody had it. So that's really why I got started. That's why I created it. I started really thinking about it and wondering, could I do this, and how would it work and everything. What's kept me excited about it, though, is really just helping people solve problems. I just love it when somebody says, is there a way for me to do this? And I say, yeah, do it like this. Oh, that's going to be great. And I got all these tournament directors all over the country that are just thrilled because their job's easier and their bowlers are excited. And for me, that's just very gratifying. And it turns out the online entries, it's not been as popular. That's not one of the features that directors are excited about. It's the real-time access to scores and how easy it is to get a tournament set up and rolling. That's what directors.
And being able to do it all at one place instead of having, like a tournament in Vegas I was just at, they had a table for sign-ups, they had a table for doubles, they had a table for bracket. Now, granted, it was 1,200 teams over a week, but that's a lot of walking around and a lot of paperwork shuffling around 3 or 4 different places.
Yeah, very complicated. And for the bowlers, too, to run around and check all those things. And then you start looking at room for errors and things like that. Every time you take a piece of paper and you move it from one place to another, that's a chance that piece of paper gets lost. Every time somebody takes a score and writes it down from one place to another, there's a chance that you're not going to read their writing correctly or they're going to write it down wrong. And all of these places are chances for errors. So when I'm putting in scores, I don't read anybody's writing. I take my phone down to the settee area, I look up at the monitor, and I type in a score. It's done. So they can write it down if they want, and it makes them feel good to have a piece of paper with the initials on it and everything. But truly, it comes straight from the monitor, straight to my phone.
There you go. No muss, no fuss. They're all done.
That's right. And the 4s don't look like 9s.
Now, can anyone use tournamentbowl.com?
Can anyone use tournamentbowl.com? Yeah.
It's user-friendly. Say, how user-friendly is it?
I see what you're asking. Yeah, how accessible is it?
I don't have to be a programmer to use it, right?
Yeah, no, of course not. And so my vision for tournamentbowl.com is it would be as easy to use as Amazon.com or any other website that you can just sit down at and say, what's this? And you might have to poke around a little bit, but you can figure it out. That's the idea. I never want to make a manual that you have to print out and read or something like that. I want it to be simple enough to where you can just sit down and have at it. So, and there's plenty of directors that have done that. They message me for a login, I give them a login, and then the next day I say, yep, there's a tournament. They got it all ready to go, and they just, away they go. Most directors, I would say, appreciate that I'll spend a little time with them. And I always invite this. Whenever a person starts, I set them all up, and I say, now, you want me to walk you through this? Let's take some time here, and we'll set your first tournament up together. And they find no problems at all with it. There are very, very few instances where a person has become, frustrated or, it's not working for me. Always, once we get started, they say, it was a piece of cake. They might have a question down the road or something like that, which I answer. But in general, people find it very easy to get started and to keep learning features. Really, it's like 4 steps to set up a tournament. And there's a little wizard that just follows these steps down the left-hand side of the panel. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward to get going.
It'll walk you through it, basically.
Yep, exactly. Walk you through it.
Now, does it cost anything for a director to use Tournament Bowl?
Nope, not charging anything. And honestly, that's been a bit of a barrier. People they're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What do you mean it's free? And they kind of feel like they're looking at me sideways, smelling a rat or whatever. But truly, this is just a kick. I'm having a blast doing this. So, someday, if it gets as big as I think it might, I'm sure there'll be a way to cash in on it. I'm not too worried about it. But I've got a job. I'm not using this to pay the bills, so I'm not interested in, $50 licensing fees or $1 a bowl or anything like that. Just use it and enjoy it. Spread the word. I'll find a way to make money on it later, maybe. I don't know.
Something to give back to the bowlers.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Like I say, it's just fun. It's fun to help. It's fun when the tournament goes on and I can see everybody looking at the standing sheet online and the director's happy with it and it creates a little bit of a buzz. And I've often compared it to preparing a big meal. Thanksgiving meal and how Mom always did work all day and slave over the stove and everything and stick around the kitchen. And then when everybody sits down to enjoy that meal, how gratifying that is to the person that prepared it to see everybody enjoy the meal. It's like that for me. It just feels good to have it be used and have people be able to enjoy it.
We are brought to you by Olroys.com. It's unique bowling ball cleaner. So they make 2 products, late shift and early shift. Late shift is used when the lanes start to break down or transition, and then early shift is a great all-around cleaner. Go to their website at www.olroys.com. Talk to Don Sagert. They're good people over there. They've helped with sponsoring the podcast and, of course, with our tournaments at West Coast Open Bowling. Again, we are talking to Jeff with TournamentBowl.com, the creator, founder, programmer of the TournamentBowl.com. What is the future of TournamentBowl.com? Anything you're going to be adding to it or any big news for it?
Yeah, good question. I'm always kind of adding things, small features, kind of a couple of bigger rollouts. But, I guess they're bigger from my perspective because they're big jobs. Side action was one of the more recent where if you're bowling in a doubles tournament, say, but there's an optional singles component, and so the scores count for both. So that was something that took some finagling on my part to kind of get that to work and everything. So that was the most recent rollout. I just rechanged how all events work so that you can have multiple divisions of all events. Yeah, and I've just about got it where I like it. There might be some small tweaking, some lane assignment tools and stuff like that I might add. But it comes a time when I kind of want to really just settle in and maybe start creating some documentation and some help videos and things like that people can use, and maybe some promotional things. So yeah, I think I might have it about where I want it right now, honestly.
A question I have, I'm a local association here, and we're having our city tournament. Now, could an association run their tournament on TournamentBowl.com?
Yeah,
from singles all the way through team
events? I made it. Yep, that's exactly what I had in mind when I first made it. Yeah, and so our associations up here are using it, and they're real happy with it. Singles, doubles, and team, and all events, and brackets, and it's set up perfectly for that.
And the same way, I know the association have to use WinLabs to turn everything in. Is that compatible with, or equal to WinLabs? Being able to transfer that stuff over? It replaces them.
Yeah, it replaces WinLabs is the idea. So so truly, you don't have to use WinLabs. Well, I'm going to talk like I'm an association manager, and I'm not. But you don't really, there's a certain amount of reporting that has to happen for your tournament at the end of an association tournament. But the reporting is not like every score. The reporting is more about the financials and the winners and stuff like that. So, and that's pretty easy to just fill out. So the association managers around here are happy as heck to not, with all due respect to WinLabs. I don't want to harsh on another product, and it's a good product. And frankly, WinLabs does more than TournamentBowl.com, but it's also a bit of a beast to learn. And so this is more, in my opinion, much more accessible to an association.
A lot more user-friendly.
Well, that's the intent, yeah. The intent is to not have to go to a training in order to use it. And, like I say, it's online. I mean, that's the whole point. If you want to see what's in WinLabs, you'd better hope somebody prints it out and pins it on a wall someplace for you.
Now, just a little bit about you. What is your favorite bowling ball brand? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite bowling ball brand.
Or your favorite bowling ball?
Oh, my favorite bowling ball? Okay, so I've got a Storm High Road that I've had forever. And I bought balls since, and I can't hardly use them. I just love that High Road. So I'd say definitely
Is anyone you want to say hello to, or any kind of a shout out to anybody that may be listening afterwards?
Yeah, that's a good question. One cool result of Tournament Bowl that I didn't really anticipate was all the cool people that I know from around the country. So people that have gotten involved and kind of helped me get the ideas going for TournamentBall.com and encouraged me when I was just getting started. So there's a guy in Rhode Island, Richard, that he was encouragement right away, and he's got a tournament coming up this weekend. Deborah Haggerty I've grown to work with in California. She's got a scratch tour for young bowlers. Mm-hmm. Perry Porter was the first guy. He's in North Carolina, first guy to use TournamentBall.com. And Scott Moylan was with a Tough Stuff tournament in Virginia, and he uses it for his brackets for his league. And he's the most tenacious tester you'll ever find, too. When I tell him, hey, just put something new up, get your hammer, and he'll just start working and see if there's anything that needs to be tightened up. I always appreciate that. So there's a lot of people that I really appreciate that. Monica Schwartz is another one. She's an enthusiastic user in Connecticut. Yeah, lots of cool people.
Well, Jeff, I want to thank you for being on the show today. I want to end with a thought for everybody. We have talked about this on the website. They always teach you how to be a gracious loser, but let's be a gracious winner as well. It's terrible if you bowl against somebody and they, they're not sportsmen, and that we all need to be sportsmen out there, and be a little nicer when you bowl. I know winning's important, but it's not the only thing. Be a gracious winner as well. And remember to support our sponsors, Old Roy's Bowling Ball Cleaners at oldroys.com. Thank you, Jeff, for being on the program.
Hey, my pleasure. It's lots of fun, John.